I don't wanna know, no, what you'll become, come. What's up everyone, John from ARTV. Welcome to Throwbacks Week. Today I'm talking about the debut album as requested by you guys, Songs About Jane by Maroon 5. That's right, as fate has it, it's not actually just a myth. Maroon 5 was once a band that actually had guitars in their music that could be heard, bass that could be worshipped, and drums that could pound out the coldest of hearts. I don't know what I'm saying. Maroon 5, they used to be a band that kind of played like pop rock, some soulful stuff, a little bit funky with the bass lines from Mickey Madden, and Adam Levine's ego had not gone through the roof at this point. And their debut album is excellent. I'm not gonna say it's one of the best albums of all time, but for pop at the turn of the century, it was doing things right. Now, Maroon 5 were not always Maroon 5. They actually started off as Kara's Flowers, named after a girl that they had a collective crush on in high school. Maroon 5 have been playing together, technically, some of the members at least, since 1994, which is crazy to think about. And the incarnation that we know now started around 2001, 2002, and of course, Songs About Jane came out. They added guitarist Jesse Carmichael in 2001, and I think that that's where they really started going wrong. They added the guitarist so they could free up Adam Levine so he could have his on-stage presence, be the frontman. That's where the ego started getting out of control, and it was kept in check on this record and on It Won't Be Soon Before Long. Two really solid albums, but after that, we really just started losing them. Anyways, pushing jokes aside, Songs About Jane, Harder to Breathe, lead single off of this thing, still my favorite song on the entire album, one of my favorite Maroon 5 songs still to this day. I love the kind of gasping feel that we get from it, a desperate sense urges from it, and we get that on a lot of this record. It's called Songs About Jane because Jane was an ex-girlfriend of his, someone that he was almost stalkerish towards, and he even admits that. Basically, he followed her at work, I think, and kind of watched her. They ended up going out, and things clearly did not work out well considering how this album goes, and he says there's at least one line on every single song on here that's about Jane. So, Songs About Jane, it's accurate. Some people will say, oh, it was inspired by an ex. This truly was about one girl for the most part, and I feel like a lot of the inspiration on songs may be fictional, but it was written with her in mind. Harder to Breathe is one that is about her, but there was a lot of pressure from the label saying, hey, you guys don't have enough songs. Can we get some more songs for this debut album from you guys? And he wrote it out of frustration, and it turned out to be a very great thing. I'm so glad they pushed him to write this, because Harder to Breathe, it can be interpreted as, hey, somebody's standing over me watching me write, essentially, basically saying put out more songs, but at the same time, he feels suffocated in this relationship. I love the big pianos on this track, the guitars are excellent, it clocks in at under 3 minutes, and it really gets the job done. Now, there's a lot of varying vibes on this record, from your more rocking stuff like that, and This Love, I love the guitars on that, it still rings true as one of their best singles to date. It's something that really gave us a taste of what Adam Levine could do as a vocalist, and I really missed this side of him. Honestly, it was a lot more raw and focused at this point in their career, and we really saw him unleashing on moments like Sunday Morning, This Love, as I just noticed, Through With You, and Not Coming Home, a really aggressive track that I really enjoy. He seems very bitter and spiteful on this one, a breakup, or perhaps something just got left on the table and he's like, I can't do this anymore. And we see that at the end of this record, everything is coming to a close, and I like that we're actually getting stories and not just pop songs. Sure, they can stand on their own, but at the same time, if you really think about it, there's a connecting flow that really ties together all of these songs perfectly. Two of my favorites come right in the middle of this record, back to back, in the form of Tangled and The Sun. Tangled is basically saying, how did I get so deep into this relationship? I got so caught up. I was maybe really attracted to her. I got lost in her beauty, but I lost myself, and I'm like, wait, what am I doing here? I have to get out of here. And I feel like some people do get confused by the track Must Get Out, thinking he's talking about a relationship that he has to get out of. There, he actually seems to be doing the opposite of that, trying to calm things down, saying, hey, you know, the city is what's driving us crazy, or maybe turning us against each other. Maybe that's where we need to get out of. But getting back to my previous point there, talking about Tangled and The Sun, I feel like those are two of the smartest tracks that Levine has ever written, and the band really coming together on this and actually playing like a band. The Sun has has some wicked guitar licks in there mixed with the pianos and the bass work really shaping everything up here alongside Adam Levine's excellent vocals on the track. One of the most creative pieces that they've ever delivered. You're probably thinking, John, it's Maroon 5. There's got to be some stuff that's just not that great. And you're absolutely right. There's some moments that just don't get the job done for me, don't quite hit the nail on the head. And one of those would be Shiver. I feel like that's just kind of lost in the whole early 2000s guitar-driven pop stuff. It doesn't stand out from the pack really in any way. And then there's a slower song that I mentioned a minute ago, Must Get Out. That's one that was released as the 5th single from this record, but it's one that didn't chart, and I feel like for good reason. It's not interesting. It's a slower paced track. There's one on this very record in terms of slow paced stuff that does it a whole lot better, and that's called Secret. It's track 9, and it's kind of an immersion into Maroon 5, into Levine's head, where he was at, and it makes me miss, once again, the early Adam Levine, one that was writing from a very honest and earnest point of view, and now we just get stuff about, I don't want to know, no. I know I've failed to mention the huge smash that was She Will Be Loved up to this point. It is a pretty solid song. I do feel like it's a bit overrated at this point. It's got kind of a weird transition that I don't care for all that much, from the verse to pre-chorus and then the chorus itself. It's catchy, it's got kind of a looming bass line on it, but overall I just feel like it drags a little bit, and generally I'm ready for it to be over whenever it comes on. The final track that I'm going to talk about is the final song on the album, Sweetest Goodbye. Levine penned this one all by himself. The majority of them were written with fellow band members, but this one he took the reins to by himself, and I'm glad he did. This really tied things up. It was a very personal project for him. I love the lyrical content on it and how it really just ties everything together like I was talking about earlier, and there's a big guitar solo and a fade out on this track that I absolutely love. One of the most thrilling and exciting moments for a pop band, especially on a record that actually feels like a record, a full-length album that has a little bit of everything. Storytelling, something that you can get into musically, and a good groove that really sums everything up and puts it all together. A 12-song album that actually flows like an album. Overall, obviously, Songs About Jane is my favorite Maroon 5 record, and it's very close, I will say, with It Won't Be Soon before long. I'll probably review that one at some point. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comment section. And don't forget to check out other Maroon 5 reviews that I've done on this channel. I have not been a fan of them, but yeah, the ones that I've covered you can check out in the description. Thanks for watching this throwback review. Be sure to drop a like to let me know that you're enjoying these, and subscribe to the channel, because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. Another Maroon 5 review right here, another throwback review right here, and other than that, you can find me on social media linked in the description, and I'll see you very soon on ARTV.